Are you a father with insomnia who would like to sleep like a baby in the next 30 days? Do you have a successful business or career and a family you love and yet you still struggle to sleep? If that is you, then stop everything you're doing, bring your full attention to what I'm about to share with you, and gift yourself about 10 minutes to discover the 3 massive mistakes you are making right now that are keeping you from sleeping like a baby every night. When you understand and eliminate these 3 massive mistakes, you will be well on your way to sleeping like a baby within the next 30 days. I am also going to give you a gift in just a few moments that is valued at over $500. I want to give you this gift because I believe we have a divine appointment, a date with destiny, so to speak. Let me tell you a quick story, and then I will share with you the 3 massive mistakes you are making right now that are blocking you from blissful nights of restful sleep, and then I will give you your free gift. Do we have a deal? Okay, great. My name is Erik Gerace. I'm a successful author, a successful real estate investor and agent. I have an amazing wife and 2 fantastic boys. And as far back as I can remember, I had trouble sleeping at night. Sleepless nights were the norm for me. As a child, the consequences were not so noticeable. As an adult, I was miserable. So my journey really started when I decided to share driving responsibilities with a friend of mine on our way to a personal development event. We drove a van for 33 hours straight with 10 people from Panama City Beach, Florida, heading to Salt Lake City, Utah. I volunteered to share the driving responsibilities because I knew sleeping was something I didn't do. I was struggling financially, I had past success, and was looking for ways to recapture previous glory. I had invested all my money in different opportunities, hoping for the next big score, but none of which had yet come to fruition. The morning of the day we left, my landlord came for a visit to tell me that if I did not pay my rent by the next day, she was going to evict me and my family. Luckily, I was able to talk my way into 1 more week. The extra time I negotiated was only so I could be home when they kicked us out. I did not want to be in Utah at some personal development event where I was of no use to my family. It was hard enough to make the decision to go without any money, and now there was a possibility I wasn't going to have a home when I got back. Despite the threat of being kicked out of our home, I decided to go on the trip anyway. This was my first event like this. We arrive after a very long and exhausting drive, and this place is full of extremely happy and way too energetic and overly friendly people. I was so not feeling it. Minutes after the event starts, the host asks a room full of 250 plus people eager to change their lives a question. Who here has issues with money? Of course, I raised my hand. He's speaking directly to me. And apparently everyone else in the room felt the same way. Almost the entire room raised their hand. Some very earnestly. And so my ego started up. Why didn't I raise my hand like that? Damn. Why didn't I let him know how urgent this was for me? And to my shock, I was the first one he called on. He motioned to me to come to the stage so he can have a conversation with me. At this time, I had 4 businesses and a full-time job, yet I was still struggling to pay my bills. Now, some of you may be wondering, what does this story have to do with not sleeping? Hang tight, I promise, this story is heading there. So after a brief and seemingly meaningless conversation with the host, he says to me, "You know, if I had any one of the businesses you own, I would be set for life because I don't have the same limiting beliefs around money you do." And that statement caught my ego's attention. He continued, "Erik, look at it like this. You are a powerful creator. Your beliefs are creating broken struggle from 5 viable sources of income." And now my ego is fired up. I was new to this type of thinking and I was fully triggered. Luckily, I was on stage in front of 250 plus people, so I had to maintain a very atypical amount of control. So I started to think, who is this guy? Who is he to say that to me? Is he really trying to say that this was all my fault? Who the hell was he to tell me all this bullshit I experienced over my life was now all my fault? He doesn't even know me. He doesn't know my story. And my ego kicked into full gear, and using my most powerful asset, my brain, I began to look for faults in his logic. So I responded by playing devil's advocate. I said, so if I follow your logic, then I should be able to create wealth from no jobs, right? I thought I just mic dropped the entire event. I was about to start basking in my glory when, boom, the moment that changed my life. He put his hand on my shoulder and he stared into my eyes and all the way into my soul, and he said, yes, Erik, that is exactly what I'm saying. And then the craziest thing happened. I knew he was speaking the truth. It hit me hard. It hit me deep. All my limiting beliefs and self-doubts started to flash before my eyes. It was time for a change, and that time was now. I started entertaining thoughts of shutting down my businesses, quitting my job, and focusing on me. I felt like I needed to get away from anything scarcity mindset related, and I needed to start studying, absorbing, and becoming abundance. On our ride home, I called my wife to share the joy of my newfound beliefs and my new plans. The truth, I was scared to death. I was freaking out. I wanted her to confirm my fears and talk me out of shutting everything down. Instead, she responded with joy and support. She said, thank God, Erik, none of those things were you. I was completely surprised by her response. Now I was really freaking out because this new life was becoming possible. When I arrived home, I did just that. I shut everything down and started to read books and listen to meditations, talks, webinars, audiobooks, anything and everything I could get my hands on. And during these first 30 days, something happened. Here I was in the middle of one of the most disruptive events of my life. I had no idea how I was going to create income or pay my bills other than this new belief that I was a money magnet. And a little insight. One of my insomnia triggers is that if I don't know or understand something important to my life, I'm up all night until I figure it out. So trying to become abundant by making these drastic changes without any proof or concrete evidence it would work was fuel for my insomnia, or so I thought when I started. Yet this wasn't the case at all. In fact, I was noticeably happier in all aspects of my life. Why? What is going on? How could this be? I had stumbled onto a recipe that was producing a dish I really enjoyed. I also noticed that I was now sleeping like a baby every night. I was even taking naps during the day on occasion. And abundance started to show up everywhere around me. I made more money checking the mail than I did previous 3 months with the 4 businesses and a job. How could this be? I needed to find the answer. My entire life, I was always striving to be the best. Always had to have the best grades, the best paper, the fastest time, the longest streak. You name it, I competed in it and thrived on the competition and the dedication it took to practice and perfect whatever it was I was involved in. With this mindset, my mind and my body became my strongest assets, and slowly they became my gods. I was a constant planner, always trying to improve upon, to figure out, and to find the easiest, most consistent way to win. With this mindset, my life looked fun and amazing to outsiders. I had the appearance of success, a great job, great businesses, an amazing wife, and 2 great boys, yet I was miserable on the inside, and I was only sleeping 2 to 4 hours per night. I was exhausted. I felt used by everyone. My ego was telling me that my family, my friends, and my colleagues, they were the ones to blame for working me into the grave. And I road raged like no other. I even outfitted my Jeep with spotlights and a PA system so I could road rage better than anyone else on the road. I tried everything to sleep. Sleeping pills, sleep aids, alcohol, drugs, blindfolds, listening to music, watching TV, watching movies, exercising, you name it, I tried it. They all worked a little bit or for a short period, but none of them brought lasting, noticeable change until now. And I tell you this story because I wanted to let you in on how I became aware of the 3 massive mistakes that I'm about to share with you. I was making them And the fact is, you are making them too if you are someone that has found success in all areas of your life yet still struggle to get a good night's sleep. If you are that person, then it is essential for you to start focusing on you now. We believe we are doing all these things, our careers, houses, vacations, etc., for our family and to be a good provider. But when we don't put our self-care first, the truth is we are teaching our kids to put everything else before themselves. Every parent knows that our children do not do what we say, they do what we do. This isn't about me or you. This is about something bigger than either of us. It's about what we are teaching our children. So at this point, I either have your full attention or I've scared you away. Either one is perfect because I'm looking for a very specific type of person, and you already know if you are that person or not. And since you're still here, I'm guessing that I have your attention, and you know that it is not a coincidence that we're having this conversation right now. And that makes you realize that whatever these 3 massive mistakes are, you need to understand and eliminate them from your life now. Today is the end of you being the hero. This is the moment that you fully commit. You take a stand for yourself, your family, your friends, and the world, and you finally sleep like a baby. Just like I did, you have learned that you can't get enough success, wealth, or vacations to turn off your mind and finally get some sleep. You know that the way for you to live an abundant and fulfilling life is by taking 100% responsibility for your reality and realizing self-care must be a priority. So are you ready to find out what these 3 massive mistakes that stop you from sleeping are and put an end to them for good? Okay, great. Mistake number 1. So the massive mistake was that I had subconsciously believed my value came from what I could do for my family, and that determined if I was a good dad or not. I wasn't aware I was doing it, but I had made the decision in my subconscious mind that I had to provide more and more and more to be considered a good dad. Now looking back, I can see how ridiculous it was to think that, because my value as a father does not come from all of the things I provide for them. My value comes from loving them and being present with them, being with them fully without any distractions. It took me having to shut down every business I own and quitting my job to get this lesson. You don't have to go to those extremes if you just understand this. So here's what I want you to do right now to end this subconscious mistake that you might not even know you're making. I want you to repeat this phrase after me. Are you ready? Okay, here it goes. My family is blessed by my presence and unconditional love. Go ahead, say it. Great. Now say it with me now. My family is blessed by my presence and unconditional love. Now, feel into what that means and feel into the truth of it. My family is blessed by my presence and unconditional love. We convince ourselves that this phone call or email or errand is more important in the moment because by doing this one thing, I can provide X, Y, or Z for my family. The truth, your family receives more in the moment of you being present than from all the things you can buy for them. Now that you know the truth, you can release some of the pressure of what you are trying to provide and just be you and be present. This was the first relief I experienced. I took on this new belief and it was calming. It was the first belief I ever had in my entire life that actually helped me sleep better. So keep saying that phrase over and over and watch the miracle of restful sleep creep right back into your life. Okay, so we could probably stop there and your whole world could completely transform, but we have 2 more massive mistakes to go. So massive mistake number 2 is that you are always in your head. If you aren't getting at least 6 hours of sleep per night, then you are most certainly in your head. We have so much pressure to perform as a father, as a business owner or partner, or pressure from our employer. And on top of all that, the pressure we put on ourselves is even greater. So, how do I get out of my head, Erik? It's actually quite simple. Would you like me to share with you how I did it? Okay, great. I recorded myself reading my life vision and listened to it every night. My life vision was a story I wrote in the present tense of how amazing my life was and exactly what that looked like. I wrote about the success of my business, the lives of my family members, and that I was sleeping like a baby every night. The reason that this was so powerful was that I was putting my thoughts down on paper. I was speaking them into existence as well. The voice in my head that kept me up all night could not compete with the volume of my voice coming through the headphones. And the voice that kept me up all night was my voice worrying. And now I had my voice telling me how amazing my life was. There was no need to worry. And with that came sleep. So that was massive mistake number 2, being in your head. Once you have eliminated massive mistake number 1 and number 2, you will be completely shocked by how quickly everything changes for you. What is even better is, we still have one more massive mistake to go. Okay, are you ready for the third and possibly the most harmful mistake that is blocking you from sleeping like a baby? This is very, very, very important. The reason I was able to become so successful in every other aspect of my life is because I had a mentor who understood my journey. They knew how to build businesses and marketing engines and all those things, but they hadn't solved the problem of sleeping at night. The reason everything I tried initially to help me sleep better only helped a little or for a short period of time is because the advice I was getting was coming from people that weren't in my shoes. They didn't understand all the pressures and pitfalls of what I was experiencing. In essence, they were providing a solution to a problem, just not my specific problem. The reason I was able to become so successful at sleeping like a baby every night this time around and do it so quickly is because I had a mentor who understood my journey. So massive mistake number 3 is not having a mentor who understands you and your journey. So I want to let you know that you are not alone. I understand you. I know what it is like to feel like you have nothing left to give, that your tank is running on fumes, and you still must find a way to muster up the drive and motivation to provide an amazing life for your family, wishing that the price you were paying to accomplish this did not have to include your health. I've been down that road. I've experienced every possible negative outcome trying to find a way to get some sleep. It wasn't until I found someone that had been down my road, that knew my journey, it was then I acquired the tools and the accountability from a mentor that knew exactly what I was experiencing. You're at that same moment now as I was when I was on stage in my earlier story. This is the moment you have been waiting for. You don't have to wonder anymore if you will ever get any sleep ever again. The only problem this entire time was that you didn't have the right tools, system, and accountability in place to take back control of your nights and start to sleep like a baby. If this sounds appealing to you, then consider what I'm about to share with you next as the answer to your prayers. I have decided to open my schedule over the next few weeks to give away free coaching sessions to a handful of people. I would like to invite you to take advantage of a special Fathers with Insomnia coaching session where we'll work together to do 3 specific things. The 3 things we'll do during the coaching session are create a crystal clear vision for your life and perfect lifestyle you'd like to experience. We'll uncover hidden challenges that may be sabotaging your sleep and keeping you working too many hours. And you'll leave this session renewed, re-energized, and inspired to create a fulfilled life and sleep like a baby. If you would like to take advantage of this special, very limited, and totally free 30-minute Fathers with Insomnia coaching session, click the button below and fill out the short application. This is literally going to be me and you talking one-on-one. I am going to listen to you, guide you, help you get clarity, and help you find what your next steps are to break through this invisible barrier that is blocking you. At the end of the session, for a few people who qualify, I am even going to invite them to work with me one-on-one for 30 days so they can sleep like a baby. If you feel like this is for you, then I suggest clicking the button below and securing your session right now, because once my calendar is full, that's it. You may never see this opportunity again. So go ahead and click that button now and schedule our divine appointment. I am super excited to talk to you and find out all about your goals and your dreams, to learn about you and your family and your business, and to give you the tools you need to sleep like a baby. I know this is going to be an amazing experience for the both of us. I hope you have received tremendous value from this video. And now it is time to take a step to prove to yourself that you aren't playing around anymore. You are done with being exhausted and tired all the time. You are serious this time and mean business. So get that application filled out right now, and I look forward to talking with you real soon. Until then, go out there and give what you want to get and be the change you wish to see.